the UK is currently very short of midwives, and a whole lot of trusts are actively recruiting midwives. Just last week, 16 midwives got their COS from Nigeria. For midwife, depending on what shift you pick, you can be paid up to £32 per hour.
Can you mention a few of the trusts that are currently recruiting midwives, please?
Okay, so...
Stop that. Hi, wonderful people. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Nanelle Griselda. Today, I have here a UK midwife called Sowunmi from Nigeria. Okay, she successfully migrated to the UK to work as a midwife. I know there are so many people that want to know the process for midwives. They are always in my comment section asking me, when am I going to interview a midwife? Today, I have done what you want. I have brought here a midwife, okay? So for Sowunmi, she wrote her IELTS and her midwifery CBT back home in Nigeria, and then came to the UK on a visitor's visa to write the OSCE, and then applied for midwifery jobs and then got some. But obviously, you can't switch from a visitor's visa to a work visa, so she had to go back to Nigeria to apply for a tier 2 visa. However, after she came, she's been able to help so many other midwives come to the UK by directly applying for jobs back home in Ghana and Nigeria. So today she's going to tell us more about it, okay? So we're not really going to focus on the path that she came through, because I already have a video where I spoke about how to self-sponsor yourself as a midwife. But we're going to focus on how people can still come from Africa or Asia or the Caribbean to the UK as midwives by applying directly from back home, whether you're from a red listed country or you're from a green listed country. So guys, if you're interested, stay tuned. Hi, Sowunmi.
Hi, Danielle.
Guys, Sowunmi has a YouTube channel. I'll leave a screenshot of how the page looks like so that you can head over and then ask her all your midwifery questions concerning relocating to the UK. So, Sowunmi, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Sowunmi Mary. I'm popularly known as Sowunmi, and I am a registered midwife. I've been in the UK for about 10 months now, working as a registered midwife here, and I used to work in Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria originally.
So, I've already explained how you came. Why did you take that risk of coming to applying for a visit visa to come and do your OSCE and all that? Why did you not just apply directly?
Okay, so initially I started in 2019. I wrote my IELTS in 2019, and March 2020, that was when the lockdown came, and I was supposed to do my verification in Nigeria, but then their offices were not opened because there was lockdown for about 3 months. It delayed all the process, and I have my uncle and my aunt here in London, and they were kind of anticipating to have me around already. So when the lockdown came, that it delayed everything. By the time I was able to write my exam in August and write my CBT, and I passed my CBT, they were just after a month when I started applying that I didn't get the job, they're like, okay, what next? I'm like, I'm still waiting for a job. They're like, if you don't want to get the job, is there any way you can come in? And I was like, yes, I know a way to come in, which is through the self-sponsor route. And they did sponsor me to come to the UK to write my OSCE exam. It was the motivation behind me coming to the UK by myself to do my OSCE exam. But a whole lot of people that we were doing this process together, they all got jobs from Nigeria, and they did come into the country as registered midwives.
Okay, so what she's trying to say is that she had to come on the visit visa, like I said earlier, and then she had to write the OSCE and then look for jobs whilst in the UK. But all her other friends that she was doing the same process with, they applied for the jobs back at home in Nigeria, and they got the jobs even before they came to the UK. So there was no need for her friends coming on a visit visa to the UK. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because we know that it's not realistic for everybody to come to the UK on a visit visa to write the OSCE, and it's quite difficult. How did you even study for your OSCE? What support did you get since you were on your own?
Yeah, when I registered for my OSCE, I did get materials from the center. They did send materials from the center to me. And then I had someone that was supposed to coach me on how to pass my OSCE. Then she got very sick with COVID and she couldn't do that. So I just had to prepare for the OSCE myself. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on different stations. Then I had a friend that came into the country before me that did an exam at least about 1 month before me. So I just kind of asked her, how was it? She was like, she doesn't even know if she did well or not. I think our exams were 5 days apart or so. I was able to prepare with some of the things that she told me, and that was how I prepared and wrote the OSCE exam.
Wow. So now the UK is urgently in need of midwives, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think midwives are struggling to get jobs from back home? Why is that?
So I just think it's kind of a perception, because back in the days, when registered nurses were actively migrating into the country, there were no information about registered midwives. And then a lot of registered midwives just pulled back. And in Nigeria, where I come from, most people in last 10 years, they usually have their RN and their RN, which is they are always a registered midwife and also a registered nurse. So when opportunity came in, they would definitely prefer to go to the UK as a registered nurse. But then after I finished school, or while I was in my final year in school, I already knew it that I wasn't going to stay in Nigeria, but I didn't know how. I didn't get a lot of information online about how to register. But what I did was that I was checking on the NMC website, and they were specific about saying nurses and midwives. And so I just think that now there's more awareness to more people that are basic midwives, and they are really happy to take that bold step rather than going all the way back to study 18 months in a school of nursing. They would rather prefer to invest that 18 months with that same amount of money they would have used for their school fees in this migrating process, and they will definitely get jobs, because the UK is currently very short of midwives, and they've started to like encourage more trusts to start employing internationally trained midwives, and a whole lot of trusts are actively recruiting midwives. But there's a but to it. The reason why it is slower than nurses, because you need more support as a midwife, because you are going to be practicing autonomously. So, for example, when I came into the country, I had to do supernumerary shifts for about 3 months just before I was allowed to start working on my own. So they can't bring in too many midwives without someone to like body up with them or be their preceptor, or else everything is just going to be messed up. So those are one of the things that they put into consideration while trying to recruit midwives into the UK.
How are you able to get CBT materials to study? Because I know it's difficult to come by. How are you able to get CBT midwifery materials to practice with or to study for your exam?
Yeah, I was actually in a nursing CBT group, and everything was very strange to me because I did study midwifery for 3 years. That is the only qualification I even currently have. And then I was on the CBT group. They were sending in questions, we were practicing, and I didn't know most of the questions. So I was wondering that they did say CBT is one of the simplest exams for you to pass, and why am I struggling with these questions? Why don't I know most of these questions? While on the group, someone just posted to the group, please, if you have CBT materials for midwives, please contact me. Then I went to her DM to message her that, please, when you get any material, kindly let me know. And she was like, okay, there's this Telegram group that supports midwives. So the support group just encourage a lot of people to read together and also to just prepare for their CBT exams. And that was what helped me.
So do you still have links to that Telegram page?
Yeah, we have link to the Telegram page, and it's in the description on my YouTube channel.
Can you also send it to me so that I put it in this as well?
Okay, I can.
So guys, I'm going to leave a link to the Telegram group page that Shomi is talking about. That's where she got all the CBT materials for midwives that helped her pass her midwifery CBT to come to the UK. I also have a Telegram group. We have CBT materials for nurses, mental health nurses, and midwives. I'll put the link as well to my Telegram group also in the description, so you can join both, or you can join either of them if you want. If you join mine, kindly just go straight ahead to the file section and download. You don't have to even ask anybody any question. It's already there. Just go to the file section and download. So so that's how you passed. Okay, wow. While you were in the UK, did you struggle to find a job after you passed the OSCE?
I was actually waiting to get my PIN, because I did message some employers before I wrote my exam, and they were like, they don't recruit people without their PIN. That was then. And so I just had that laid back mentality, because I was already in the UK. I knew that once my PIN comes out, I was definitely going to get a job. So I was just relaxed. So immediately my PIN was out, I just sent a mail to one of the employers that I have previously applied for. I actually called them and told them that I'm currently in the UK. I've passed my OSCE exam and I've applied to your vacancy. I'm just calling to inquire to know what's up with my application. And she was like, oh, okay, you've already applied, because I applied several times to that particular trust, and they were giving out interviews to some of my friends. And one of my friends actually got a job from Nigeria through that same trust, and already was in the UK as at the time. When they put up a vacancy, I was very angry at them that, why would you put up a vacancy when there are a lot of midwives trying to apply to you? So since I was in the UK, I was able to call them directly and talk to the manager that I've applied severally to you guys. And now I've even passed my OSCE exam. So what exactly is wrong with my application, so that I could just know what to do? And she was like, she's so sorry that they have a lot of applications and they are currently selecting. They asked me to send out my mail, and they did send me an interview invite.
So for those who are back in Nigeria or back at home, Ghana, wherever, what advice do you have for them? Can you mention a few of the trusts that are currently recruiting midwives, please?
Okay. So the advice I'm going to just give to people is that it is getting very easy now. It is very, very easy. Just last week, 16 midwives got their COS from Nigeria.
Wow.
A whole lot of people are now migrating. And now when the issue of not recruiting from the red list country is coming up, midwives are still being actively recruited. So that we have a lot of trust like Royal Berkshire Foundation Trust. We have Family Hospital. We have Hertfordshire. We have Coventry. We have, I can't remember all the trusts, but I did make a list in one of my YouTube videos. I did make a list of about 12 or 15 trusts that are currently recruiting midwives. And I think that it was a project that was started from the Southeast. It was just a trial to just see how people were going to fit in, because I know they were very skeptical about getting internationally trained midwives because of they don't know what the standards were. But thank God that the midwives that were able to like come in first, we have been able to prove ourselves, and the trusts are really interested because they've seen that, wow, these people are actually doing more than we expect. And so they are happy to actually employ more midwives.
Wow, it makes sense. It makes sense. So the first few midwives that came, they set a good record. They impressed them. So now it has opened doors for many other midwives. And I know that UK is currently urgently in need of midwives and are urgently hiring midwives. So wow, thank you for saying that. And like she said, she has a video on her channel where she listed several NHS trusts that are currently recruiting. Only the sad thing is, for a midwife, you can't work in a care home.
No, you can't.
You can't work in a care home. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just a trust. Just
yes.
a trust. Okay. So for those that are not from red list countries, do you know of any agency that assists people from green list countries for midwifery jobs?
No, I don't know any agency, because I don't think agencies are happy to like recruit midwives directly. I think it's the NHS Trust that is actively recruiting, because we have an international recruitment kind of team in my trust whereby they recruit midwives and they train them. So I don't know if there are any agencies that are recruiting midwives, but I know that they do recruit for extra shifts, agency, bank shifts and all of that.
Days a week do you work as a midwife? How many days a week?
Yeah, that's 7.5 hours.
So that's 3 days this week, 3 days the next week, and then
and maybe 4 days in one of the weeks.
So how different is midwifery from back home compared to here? What's the normal shift like?
Okay, what I just tell people is that midwifery here is the midwifery that you studied, the textbook midwifery. The textbook midwifery, you know, when we used to practice, sometimes they would teach you something in school. You go to the practice area and you see that there's a different way at which they do this type of thing where you're practicing. But midwifery here is just the textbook standard of midwife. So it was not actually too difficult for me to blend in, because I did have a sound knowledge of what the theoretical part of midwifery was. So it was easy for me to relate that, okay, this is what they're talking about. Oh, okay. And I did get support from my trust. It was very easy. On a normal shift, I work in the delivery suite, which is kind of an high-risk area. We have the midwife-led unit, and we also have the delivery suite or the labor room where the obstetric team are on ground to just monitor any emergency. So in the delivery suite, you as a midwife, you give one-on-one care to your woman. So you're going to be in the room with the woman, just one woman, just one woman. You'll be in the room with her, taking care of her, doing a vaginal examination, and a whole lot of things. Actually, also the documentation part is a whole lot compared to Nigeria, where I was coming from. So you have to do a lot of documentation, you have to do a lot of things, and there are also a lot of things that I didn't know in Nigeria. For example, forceps delivery. There are some things that we've got to learn. For example, using the CTG, the cardiotopography monitoring. In Nigeria, I now remember that we did have that machine in a general hospital in Lagos, but then we only used to hear it. We couldn't interpret whatever the CTG was telling us. We just used to hear it. You were just going to increase the volume and you were going to like be hearing whatever was happening, but I didn't know what it does and all of that. And even for forceps delivery, I know that we didn't used to do instrumental delivery in Nigeria. It's either vaginal delivery or a cesarean section. So coming to this place, I've learned a whole lot of things and I'm really open to learn. So your day-to-day activity as a midwife here is just as what the textbook has described to you or what you were taught in school.
So in a day, how many like patients can you?
The least you can have is 1 patient, and the most you can have maybe 3, depending on how quickly they deliver. So once you deliver a patient, you have about 2 hours to like clean them up, do all the recordings and transfer them to the postnatal ward. But if they are not fit for the ward, you might still need to like take care of them for a while before you then move them.
So do you get overtime shifts as well?
We actually do bank shifts here in my trust. So you book a bank shift, then you come to work and they pay you. NHSP.
Okay, so guys, for those who don't know, bank is just like overtime. And do you work for agency as well?
No, I don't.
Or you work at trust? You don't. Okay. And do you mind sharing how much you earn?
Okay. Band 5 salary is about 27,000 per year. That was like my band 5 salary, and
so it's not like midwives get paid.
It depends. If you want to compare the starting salary for a band 5 nurse, most of them in the NHS trust earn about £24,000 or £25,000. So compared to that, that's about £2,000 extra. And our bank shift actually pays us higher because I think they pay nurses £18 per. I don't know. I think someone said that to me. But then for midwife, depending on what shift you pick, you can be paid up to £32 per hour.
As a bank shift. So what will you tell midwives that are back home and want to relocate to the UK? What should they do? What final words for them?
So I would just tell everyone that is coming, no matter your years of experience, when you come into the UK to be a midwife, just be open to learn. Just be like though you've never been a midwife before, because it is very easy for you to fall here as a midwife if you are not ready to learn, or if people assume that you know too much and then they'll hide information from you. So when you're coming to the UK, have that mentality that you're in a new environment. You need to learn and make use of your supernumerary shifts. Make the most of your supernumerary shifts, because once you are your own, you have your PIN already, and anything that happens, your PIN is also at risk. And also, you can do it. Don't be discouraged that they are not recruiting midwives. Start the process. Pass your exams. Start applying. A lot of people are applying, and a whole lot of trusts are still going to take up recruiting more midwives in the nearest year. So the opportunity is kind of coming up. When they started, we only had about 2 or 3 trusts that were employing midwives, and now it's getting increased to about 18 trusts, to about 15 trusts, and so the number of people coming in are gradually increasing.
So guys, what Sowunmi is saying is that there are several trusts that are currently recruiting directly from, whether you're from Red List or whatever, just apply, okay? Pass your CBT, pass your IELTS, and apply to these trusts directly. And then who knows, you might be lucky. And so, yeah, that's it. And then if you have any further questions, you can contact her, post your question in the comment section, and then ask her anything. So thank you so much, guys. And don't forget to subscribe, and bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.